What if the thing we've been calling trauma dumping is actually just a human nervous system doing what it was designed to do? Because the truth I didn't see at first, our beliefs get shaped by culture long before they ever get shaped by our bodies. Mine did, especially in recovery. In those early rooms, I was taught the rule, call your sponsor immediately, don't sit with it alone. And I've always resisted that. I disagreed with the idea of picking up the phone if I was still shaking, spiraling, mid-storm. I thought it was irresponsible. I thought it was too much. I thought it was trauma dumping. And then someone said something recently that cracked the whole framework right open. Trauma dumping is a culture word, not a nervous system word. What? And suddenly, I could feel the floor shift. Because the shame I'd been carrying about reaching, about needing, about not being fully regulated before asking for support, that shame wasn't mine. It was false shame. Inherited from a system that worships self-sufficiency and almost punishes vulnerability, right? Here's what hit me next. Co-regulation isn't a skill. It's not a technique. It's not a boundary violation. It's not emotional irresponsibility. It's biological law. Before we can walk or talk or self-soothe, we regulate through someone else's breath, tone, presence, rhythm. We don't outgrow that. We just get shamed out of admitting we still need it. So when we are overloaded, our system doesn't say, let me pause, reflect, and regulate alone before reaching out. It says, find another regulated system now. That's not dysfunction, but we live in a culture that's terrified of need, a culture that confuses boundaries with distance, a culture that punishes vulnerability and calls it too much. So when our biology reaches outward, we're told we're doing something wrong. That's where the false shame grows. We start asking ourselves, is this too much? Am I too much? Should I have fixed myself before I opened my mouth? But those questions aren't coming from our bodies. They're coming from hierarchy, performance, and the myth of emotional independence. Because the body knows better. Regulation begins in relationship. Co-regulation is the blueprint. It's the original language of the nervous system. Huzzah! So, maybe the problem was never too much sharing. Maybe the real issue is that we live in a world with too little relational capacity. Yes. Too little time. Yes. Too little safety. Of course. And way too much shame about being human. If we stopped carrying this false shame, what would it feel like to let our nervous systems reach for each other in the exact moment they need to?